If Tom Lee's predictions come true, XRP holders could be in for a life-changing moment. For those sitting on a decent stash of XRP, it's not just about happiness. It could mean serious wealth. This is something we need to unpack because there's a strong chance it could play out, and it's crucial for anyone in the crypto space to stay sharp. Whether you're holding XRP, altcoins, or even just Bitcoin, let's dive into what's shaking up the crypto world. The biggest buzz right now, the US-China trade deal. It's everywhere, and for good reason. It's creating ripple effects across the markets in a big way. I've called this out time and time again as one of crypto's most powerful catalysts. The moves we're seeing in stocks are all tied to recent developments in trade negotiations, and it's clear they're setting the stage for some major shifts. Let's break it down. The UK deal is catching our attention, closely followed by the China deal. But here's the exciting part. The trade war seems to be easing significantly. That's a big win, especially for stocks, which are already reaping the benefits. At the same time, we witness over $2 trillion being added to the US market following this news announcement. It dropped on a Sunday, and by Monday's open, the market had surged by $2 trillion. Incredible, right? Now, the big question, what's next for crypto and stock? Personally, I focus on the liquidity cycle. It's like a secret map for predicting market movements. Historically, every big bull run aligns with this cycle. Look back at 2021, when the cycle peaked, the market followed suit perfectly. Right now, we're still climbing, and while there's more ground to cover, this year could see us reaching that peak. We could see a market peak by 2026, potentially mirroring patterns from 2021 as we edge closer to 2022. My main focus is on a topping point around fall through early 2026, but here's the exciting part. Liquidity is steadily improving. The key driver? The M2 money supply. If you've been following Raoul Pal's insights, you already know how crucial this is for Bitcoin's upward momentum. If not, you might be missing a major piece of the puzzle. The global M2 supply is surging, and the impact on Bitcoin is massive. Leading the charge, China, which has been outpacing others in driving this liquidity wave. The US is ramping up its money printing, and the M2 supply is set to skyrocket. But here's where it gets interesting. When we compare the global M2 with a 12-week lead to Bitcoin's movement, we see Bitcoin catching up fast. Raoul Pal and Julian from GMI nailed this prediction. They pinpointed the bottoming zone for Bitcoin, which perfectly aligned with the M2 supply's bottom. And get this, when you follow that 12-week lead, the timing was spot on. Bitcoin hit its bottom and has since surged past $100,000. If you take a closer look, we might see a brief sell-off at first, but the next big surge could push Bitcoin past $110,000. From there, the targets climbed $140,000, even $160,000. Exciting, right? That kind of momentum would definitely put a smile on XRP holders too, especially since an alt season seems likely, with Bitcoin dominance looking shaky. But what if I told you $160,000 is just the beginning, that Bitcoin could go even higher? Well, that's exactly what Tom Lee is predicting. In two key clips, Lee explains that now that the deleveraging phase is over, Bitcoin is primed to rival gold. He first mentioned this back in late April, early May, and guess what? He was spot on. Gold started to lose its shine, becoming boring. And just like that, we saw a massive rotation into Bitcoin. But listen to this. I couldn't agree more with Tom Lee on this one. It feels like we've hit a major turning point. Remember the sheer panic earlier this year from late February through mid-April? Fear was off the charts. Headlines were screaming about the tariff war, and the market outlook was downright grim. Fast forward to now, and it's like we're looking at a completely different world. Tom Lee's Bitcoin prediction? Buckle up. He believes Bitcoin could hit $250,000 this year. And with banks on the verge of FOMOing into crypto, his outlook doesn't seem so far-fetched. Honestly, we're probably not even as optimistic as we should be. The momentum is real. Don't believe me? Take a look for yourself. I've got to say, my perspective on Bitcoin is pretty different from Tom's. While I can't fully back his bold $250,000 target, I wouldn't completely dismiss the idea of Bitcoin potentially nearing $200,000. Why? The demand we're seeing from institutions is off the charts, especially with the buzz around ETF volumes and all the surrounding hype. What's even more intriguing is the timing, that the market seems to be waking up again just as the Fed inches closer to deciding whether or not to cut rates. Right now, as I'm recording this, Bitcoin is trading at about $102,000. If we see it dip to fill that gap around almost $98,000 and then make the leap to $250,000, as Tom predicts, that would mean a massive 155% move. And let's not forget about XRP. It's currently sitting at roughly $2.50, though after refreshing my screen, it's dipped slightly at $2.45 on the price chart. We're currently hovering around $2.44. But imagine this. If XRP makes a 300% leap from where it stands today, we're looking at a price of around $9.96. And that's not just wishful thinking, especially with XRP consistently outpacing Bitcoin's gains. Let's break it down. Over the past year, XRP has outperformed Bitcoin by nearly 8x in percentage gains. So if this trend holds and XRP continues its stellar run, an 8x difference means a jaw-dropping 1,244% surge that could push XRP to an incredible $33 or even close to $34. Do I think it's crazy? Not entirely, but do I believe Bitcoin will actually hit $250,000? That's the real question. Honestly, I don't think it's likely. My take, maybe $200,000 is within reach. Now, that would be an amazing milestone to kick things off. Of course, when it comes to XRP, we're talking about a completely different scenario. Even if Bitcoin climbs to $200,000, I still believe XRP could surge to $20, maybe even $30. But here's where it gets interesting. If Tom Lee is right and Bitcoin soars to $250,000, it's game on. The higher Bitcoin climbs during alt season, especially as Bitcoin dominance starts to drop, the more momentum XRP and the entire altcoin market could gain. Big things could be on the horizon for XRP, especially if Bitcoin makes a significant move upward. Picture this, 105% surge, an impressive jump by any measure. But let's dream bigger. If XRP pulls off an 8x rally, we're talking about an 840% gain. Yes, you read that right. 840%. That kind of leap could push XRP to the $20, $23 range, a level that could turn many holders into overnight success stories. Even a small stash of XRP at today's prices could deliver massive returns, making it a game changer for your portfolio. The ROI potential here is nothing short of exciting. Right now, all eyes are on Bitcoin. How high will it go? Its next move could set the stage for the entire market. Predictions are flying left and right, and each cycle brings new possibilities. Most of these predictions don't pan out. That said, I think a target of $160,000 to $180,000 feels realistic, even if $200,000 to $250,000 might be a bit of a stretch. We'll revisit this later and see how it plays out. One thing's for sure, the higher Bitcoin climbs, the more momentum XRP gains. It's going to be interesting to watch this unfold. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more free content. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.